Best days ever in kindergarten are when you get to show up to school in your pajamas, and we did that today for Groundhog Day. I use the term best day ever all the time. I kind of started using that at the beginning of the year as one of our rules. One of our rules in our classroom is every day is the best day ever. And today was another one of those days. So we celebrated Groundhog's Day like we never have before. And it was all thanks to an idea that got shared with me and kind of kicked off from my friend Kim Adsit at Kindergals. So kindergals.blogspot.com. She's got a very awesome teacher pay teacher store too, and that's where you can pick up the unit that we used this week. So Kim has a great Groundhog unit, and I know Groundhog's Day is past now, and but it's never too early to start planning for next year. So definitely think about picking up this pack. Get it on your radar for next year. It's awesome. There are so many activities in there, crafts, writing pages, math, all kinds of things to put into it. Some station activities that we're doing. I'll share all that with you in this video. But it really is a cool pack. So let's go back to what we did today. So one of the ideas in Kim's pack is this note that looks like this. And it says Groundhog Day, and it tells the parents that we're celebrating on February 2nd. We're ready to celebrate with lots of activities and learning. We will be learning about how groundhogs hibernate. So how fun will it be for us to wear our PJs? So we had today what we call Hibernation Day. And we left the lights out all day long. You're going to see some videos here. I'll show you. I'll put them up here somewhere. We left the lights out. All the kids wore their pajamas, brought a stuffed animal, brought blankets, and flashlights. So for all of our work today, we used flashlights. For reading, for writing, for math, for everything. We did flashlights, and it was awesome. We used some big black Visqueen, and there's a picture right here you can see of our door. My neighbor teacher and I, Mrs. Beeler, we stayed last night and put up that thing to make a burrow. So then we put it to look like a cave, and the kids had to crawl in and out of the room all day long. And we had a duck, which took a lot of time to go in and out because it was really low, but it was fun. And we crawled in and out all day, and they had so much fun with it. So the lights were out all day, the flashlights were on, and we were using those to do a lot of work and activities out of Kim's pack. So let's start at the beginning of our day. They came in and they did some morning work, and this craft was an idea, not from the pack, but an idea I saw on Pinterest. And let me go grab it. So this craft idea I saw, it was just a groundhog clip art that you can find, or a coloring book page. The kids colored it for morning work, cut it out, and then you glue it down just on the feet to a black piece of paper. They scribble around it with white, making sure to not go underneath it, and then it shows them that when the groundhog stands up and is out in the sun, he sees his shadow. How cool is that? And they had so much fun bending this down and being able to see the groundhog like stand up and then seeing his shadow behind him. And I'll link below where I got this, because I did find it on a Pinterest page, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll show you where I got it from, because it's a really cool craft to get in your file for next year. It was easy, but they had so much fun. And imagine how much more fun it was doing this in the dark, using a flashlight, trying to color. They had so much fun with it. All right, so that was our morning work and our craft that we did to start the day. And then another thing from Kim's pack that we did is we sorted animals based on whether or not they hibernate. So all the kids brought in stuffed animals, and we sorted out the ones that they know hibernate and the ones they know don't. Now, if they brought an animal that we weren't sure of, we just used Siri, and we asked Siri, does this animal hibernate? We named the animal, and they were really fascinated to see what types of animals, or animals from certain areas, or animal coverings, how that decided whether or not they hibernated for some of them. They had a great time with that. We sorted them on the carpet, and then Kim has a graph, and you can see it in some of these pictures here, in that pack where we graphed how many people said or brought an animal that does hibernate, how many people that brought an animal that does not hibernate, and then we used what we know to read the graph and write about it. So it's math, it's writing, it's fun, and that's one of those things that we keep going back to. Like, I didn't have to use one of the graphing worksheets from my math curriculum to teach them that, or to teach them how to count the graph, or read the graph, or analyze it. All those things that we need to be doing, it's just done through that play and that activity. And that's what I'm always trying to convey, that there's always another way to do it. And I'm not saying my way is perfect or my way is right, but that was such a fun way to do that. And all the kids could read that graph and understand that graph just by doing that, having fun with it. They were able to tell me how many more, how many less, which one had more, which one had less, how many of each we had to get to the total number of what we had today. There was so much involved in that. So it was awesome. It really was an awesome activity. Then we moved on to this afternoon. Right before lunch, we were able to do a little bit. We did a little bit more this afternoon. We were doing shadow puppets. So I hung a white sheet from my ceiling. I set up a flashlight behind it. We were going to use overhead projectors, but ours both, Tiffany next door, ours both died yesterday. Like, what are the chances? The bulbs both went out. So we just set up flashlights behind it, and the kids got to come up and they could either find something around the room to hold up and the kids could guess what it was as the shadow, or they made shadow puppets with their hands, or you could see the one little guy made a giant T with his body. They came up with some really cool ideas, like clever stuff that actually fooled me too with some of their shadow puppets, but they had so much fun trying to guess each other's things, and they gave each other clues. They were talking them through it, so it was a great way to get kids up in front of the room, and they did. They were all able to share their ideas, give clues, speak in front of each other. It was great. It really was. Okay, there's a couple more things from Kim's pack that we're using, but I want to tell you about what happened next in our day first, because this was kind of the highlight of our day. So a while back, I know I did a shout out to Dr. Jean from drjean.org. You guys know who she is, because I got to connect with her and do some video work, and we talked about some things, and she is the nicest, sweetest lady you're ever going to meet, and besides being a phenomenal educator. I love using her Groundhog Day song. She's got a Groundhog Day song on her CD called Happy Everything, and the kids love it. They learn it like that, and we've been singing it all week, and it's a really cute jingle. And so I sent her a message yesterday, I texted her and said, hey, what are the chances you could Skype or FaceTime with my class today, and we'll sing some songs together and talk about Groundhog's Day? And she sent back yes. So like our class, my kids and Mrs. Beether's kids, like we got to FaceTime Dr. Jean. Like, how cool is that? The lady took time out of her seminar. She was at a seminar having lunch, like on her break, and took time to FaceTime us on her break, and it was awesome. And the kids had so much fun with it, and it was really cool to see her chat back and forth with the kids and talk about it. And so thank you, Dr. Jean, for sharing your love of learning and your expertise with us. The kids talked about it all afternoon. They absolutely loved it, so thank you. All right, there are more things in Kim's pack that you need to go check out. A couple stations that we're using. There's a Groundhog Day book that they're making about groundhog cupcakes. There is a compound word book that they're making that you can see up here. And actually, I want to show you, I'm going to stop talking because I want you to hear this little girl read it. So listen to this book. All right, what's your first word?
Pancake.
What does it make?
Pancake.
Good job.
Wood. House. Woodhouse.
Very good.
Tree. House. Treehouse.
Good job.
Cow. Horse. Shoe. Horseshoe.
Very good. So see, that's just a simple book, but they figured it out so quickly, and it was an easy one to do that I talked about before, how my stations are self-managing. Like, they did that station in no time, self-managed it, worked on the pictures, the coloring, the words, and it was a great word workstation. So those are some great stations in this pack to just give the kids and let them do it while you're working with your small groups. There's a measurement station where you talk about how long a groundhog's tail is. Groundhog's tail is roughly 6 inches, so Kim has some awesome little groundhog rulers in the pack. And the kids are going to go around the room and measure things to see what is more than 6 inches, what is less, what is the same. And that's a great one that we're doing in our math station. And then the final thing, and probably one of my favorite things from the pack that we're doing, is this really cool paper bag book. And what the kids are doing is they're using a brown paper bag and some pieces that are in the pack for you to get ready to copy, and they're making little groundhogs. Now, when they open it up, we're not done with this yet, so it's going to be in here, but they put a little book inside, and it's all about groundhogs. So in this unit, just this week, we're making like 3 or 4 different books that the kids are reading on their own. So think about all the encouragement that's giving them to read, knowing that they made the book and that they're able to read it right away. So all about groundhogs. It's a great nonfiction book, and actually the unit that we're on right now in our reading series that we follow is all about learning how to read nonfiction. So this happened at a perfect time. So we're learning about a table of contents and how there's headings in a story and what these all mean and how to find the pages. And then the kids are writing and drawing the pictures. And we're using some inventive spelling, but then we're also using what we already know. Like, we're talking about how writers use what they know around them. And the kids are writing books. We learned that groundhogs eat berries, groundhogs hibernate in the winter. And then we're going to do the last 2 pages tomorrow. And then this book goes inside their groundhog. I'm not going to glue mine down because this is my Groundhog, but it goes inside, and then when they open it up, they'll have their little book to read to their family at home. Like this is the kind of stuff that I live for because I love doing art and I love letting them make books and things like that, and it's just a way to meet all your standards but combine it into something fun. Like we could have easily sat and just read about nonfiction books or talked about nonfiction books. But how much fun is it for them to create their own little book? This on top of this by itself is fun, but then you throw the craft on top of it and put it all together, and that just adds to it. So thank you to Kim for all these wonderful ideas. Like I said, there's so much more in it. These are just the ones that I highlighted because I'm working on them this week. But thank you to Kim. It made this day what it was, and the kids had so much fun. Thank you to Dr. Jean for sharing your time with us. I really appreciate that. And I want to end today with just some videos and some music from that we did today. So take a look and listen to everything that happened today. We had a blast. So check it out. Enjoy, watch, listen, and I will see you guys soon. Happy Groundhog Day.
Groundhogs hibernate in the winter. How do groundhogs live? Groundhogs. I don't know. This is down. Crawl and stand. Maddie.
See if you can tell who they are.
Landon. Ethan. Who is it?
See if you can tell who they are.
Maddie. Where did you go?
Whose shadow is that? I'm not going to tell you. That's why we call it a guessing game, my friend.
That's me.
I'm not going to tell you. That's why we call it a guessing game.
Oscar!
Would you like me to sing you a song?
Yes!
Well, I like you, there's no doubt about it. I like you, there's no doubt about it. I like you, there's no doubt about it. You are my good friend. And I want you to give yourself a firecracker.
What's up there? Very cool.
The horn kicks it away. Hey, look at this. Hey guys.
There you go. Put the light frog away from the light now. Farther down, like down here. There, now you can really see his shadow.
Hey, do you want to try mine?
Good job.